Hi, dear cricket fans, subscribers, and friends of Cricket Happenings. This is your host Ram with Cricket Happenings, and I welcome you all to this Cricket Happening show. And thank you very much, everybody, for your tremendous support. Well, what we are going to do today in this Cricket Happening show is first we are going to look at the Asian Games, where yesterday Afghanistan created an upset by beating Pakistan, but today they couldn't put it over Bangladesh, with Bangladesh prevailing over Afghanistan and taking the Asian Games gold in Guangzhou in the 2020 over match between Afghanistan and Bangladesh. Well, now the other thing that we are going to look at is going to look at the second day's play in the Ashes Test series between Australia and England, where Australia I mean, they were rescued by a very good knock by Michael Hussey, who was 81 not out, and in fact he has silenced his critics today by making 81, and it was absolutely confidence personified. He was positive right from the word go. So first we cast an eye onto Guangzhou, the Asian Games 2010 in China, where Bangladesh have picked up their first Asian Games gold by beating Afghanistan in the final of the 20 over tournament. Well, for Bangladesh, they had, I will be coming to that later. First, I will be liking to tell you that Afghanistan was the one who actually first took strike, and they were tottering there. In fact, Bangladesh had the Afghanistan innings on the ropes at 66 for 6. After that, there was a very good stand between, it was Asghar Stanzikai along with Shabir Noori took the score along and pushed it on to the 100 mark. And Shabir Noori contributed 25 of 19 balls with 3 fours and 1 6. Asghar Stanzikai was not out on 38 of 36 balls, 3 fours and 1 6. And as far as the bowling was concerned, there was some very good bowling, because Bangladesh definitely had a lot of test players in that midst in their team. Naeem Islam, 3 overs, 1 made and 2 for 8. Then they have Faisal Hussain 3 overs for 15, Nazmul Hussain 3 overs 1 for 31, all are test bats. Shahadat Hussain, the pace player, had 4 overs no made and 2 for 32. Nasir Hussain 2 overs 1 for 10. Mohammad Ashraful 1 over no made and 2 for 3, which is right arm leg spinners. And Shuvradi Ishua 4 overs no made and none for 17. So Bangladesh definitely looked the favourites, because they had a lot of test players in the lineup there. And then, well, Afghanistan pushed down the score to 100, and after that, well, they could muster 118 for 8 of their 20 overs, and then Bangladesh started the reply. As for Bangladesh, well, they lost the first wicket. Mithun Ali was run out for 22, and there were contributions from Naeem Islam, who made 34, and Mohammad Ashraful failed once more. He was bowled by Karim Sadiq for 10. Well, one thing I would like to say, all test batsmen, Nazimuddin made 5, Naeem Islam 34, not out 34 of 41 balls, 3 fours and 1 6. And the hero there was a new person, and he was 19-year-old Shabbir Rahman. At a time when it looked 75 for 5, the Bangladesh innings was almost going the Afghanistan way. But Shabbir Rahman, a 19-year-old lad from Bangladesh, really turned it all. 17 runs needed of the last 2 overs. Shabir Rahman hit 2 huge sixes. In fact, he had 3 sixes in his score of not out 33 of 18 balls with 3 fours. And very rightly, I wouldn't know whether he was the man of the match, but let me tell you, he was the one who took it away from Afghanistan. And in fact, Bangladesh actually got to the Asian Games gold by defeating Afghanistan, the final at Guangzhou, 119 for 5 with 3 balls to spare. Bowling figures, I'm not just, it was Karim Sadiq who was bowling very well, 3 overs, and his bowling figures were good, 2 overs for 10 runs. But, well, he came in for some tap there from Shabir Rahman, spoiled his figures, 3 overs no made and 2 for 27. So Afghanistan this time, well, they did well, and Bangladesh won the 2010-2011 Asian Games men's cricket competition and took on the gold and made their country absolutely proud. So keep it up, Bangladesh, but definitely Bangladesh had a lot of test players, a lot of international players in their midst, and I thought they really had a chance in this Asian Games competition. Well, now let's look at the second day's play in the Ashes Test series, where Australia began at 25 for no loss with Shane Watson. This is the Gabba in Brisbane. But before that, let me tell you that the play on the 4th day between West Indies and Sri Lanka at the R. Premadasa Stadium in the second test of the ERI Cup was washed out due to rain. So definitely that match is definitely going to end in a draw. So let's look at the second day's play in the Ashes Test. Well, the first day had Peter Siddle as the hero for Australia with the ball, and this time it was Michael Hussey running into form at the right time and actually undefeated when bad light stopped play and bad light and rain stopped play. He was not out on 81 of 144 deliveries, 13 fours and 1 6. It was absolutely, the head was on the chopping block for Hussey, but Hussey really silenced his critics with a very positive approach. Splendid pulls and drives, and what was more important was the England innings was really the Australian innings was really going downward when 143 for 5 and Marcus North departed. But Hussey came in, held the innings, not only held the innings, he played positively right from the word go. He was not afraid to play his strokes. Graham Swan came in for a lot of tap. He was pulling him well, he was hooking him well. Mid wicket was his a very good area where he actually collected a lot of runs, and it went on. Well, it all started with Simon Watson, Simon Cottage putting on a very good opening partnership, negotiating the likes of James Anderson and Stuart Broad in a much better manner. Well, James Anderson was definitely swinging the ball. He was beating the bat too. James Anderson was the most impressive there, and he definitely was doing well. And as far as Shane Watson was concerned, he was peppered with some short pitch stuff where he had some awkward movements. But as far as Shane Watson was concerned, what was very good to see was his driving in front of the wicket. The straight drives were absolutely straight as an arrow when you used to drive, and it was absolutely copybook stuff. He also he off-drove the bowlers for very good boundaries. So Shane Watson was looking very confident, and Simon Cottage, as usual, nurdling his runs there. And well, that was the one Anderson produced a beautiful delivery which actually squared up Shane Watson. Shane Watson got an edge onto it. Straws in the slips held the catch. Shane Watson gone, caught Straws, bowled Anderson 36 of 76 balls with 6 fours, and Australia 78 for 1. Simon Cottage joined by Ricky Ponting. Ricky Ponting, well, he contributed 10 runs, and well, he got a ball which was something. He didn't go for the hook or the pull shot today. He didn't fall to the hook or pull shot, but he failed here as Anderson got him to actually glove a ball. When he tried to flick a ball on the onside, got a glove onto it. Pryor had the catch. Ponting gone. Caught Pryor, bowled Anderson for 10 of 26 balls with 1 4, and Australia 96 for 2 at that stage. Well, the score just pushed on to 100 by Cottage, and that's it. Cottage, it was the end of Cottage. Cottage reached his 50, and Stephen Finn, who was playing for the first time in Australia, 6 foot a tall guy, extracted some extra bounce. In fact, as Australian pitches are always bouncy, and Finn with his height could generate extra bounce, and that extra bounce had Cottage. As Cottage, what he did was he actually played it back to Finn, and Finn held the catch. A tall bowler taking catch low down is very difficult, but Finn did that, and Simon Cottage was gone. Caught and bowled Stephen Finn for 50 of 106 balls with 5 fours, 100 for 3, Australia. Michael Clarke came in to, after Michael Clarke and Michael Hussey at the crease, Michael Clarke had some struggling moments there. Hussey was absolutely positive, as I said from the word go. He started going for his strokes, pulls, hooks, drives. He was absolutely confidence personified. Yes, he had one edge into the slips, but luckily it didn't carry. Well, Michael Clarke, he had some very struggling moments because he came at a score on 100 for 3. There was a time when they had to stabilize, but Michael Clarke was all at sea against all the bowlers. And Michael Clarke, the first time that he tried to hit a short ball, he tried to actually pull it top edge. Finn was the bowler, Pryor was the catcher. Michael Clarke gone. Caught Pryor, bowled Stephen Finn for 9 of 50 balls with no boundaries, and I would say he was out of his misery. But Clarke has to definitely put something good on the board now. It's high time that Clarke runs into form. So Clarke was gone, and then Brad Haddin joined, and now there is Marcus North was the next to go as Graham Swan came in and picked up the 5th wicket of Australia when Marcus North was out to a classical off spinner from Swan with Marcus North edged it. Collingwood held the catch. Marcus North gone. Caught Collingwood, bowled Swan for 1, and Australia 143 for 5. But they ended the day very confidently at 220 for 5. Brad Haddin not out on 22 of 71 balls with 2 fours. Michael Hussey running into form with some splendid strokes, not out on 81 of 144 deliveries, 13 fours and 1 6, and holding the fort for Australia when bad light stopped play. And this partnership has yielded 77 runs, and Australia are just 40 runs away from the England first innings target of 260 in the first innings to take a lead in this series. Well, one thing that I would like to tell here is the new ball is due, so it is not going to be easy. Michael Hussey and Brad Haddin has to pass that phase. Probably they have to see off the first session. If they see off the first session, probably Australia could try to take a lead in the series, take not a substantial lead, take a decent lead in the series and put England under pressure. What is going to happen on the third day of the Ashes Test will be known tomorrow. Until then, the Ram bidding goodbye. Thank you.